This is Bob Ambrogi. I write the blog Law Sites and host the podcast Law Next, and am also editor at Lex Blog. And we're here today for our Legal Tech in the Heartland series of interviews. We're at the Law Firm 500 conference just outside of Las Vegas, hosted by the folks at How to Manage a Small Law Firm. And over a series of interviews today, we're going to be talking to lawyers about the tech in their practices, how they use it, what they have. And we're starting today with David Sisson. David, how are you?
Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, you get to be the guinea pig. You're our first interview today, so I appreciate you doing that. So David, first of all, just tell me a little bit about where you practice and what kind of practice you have.
My practice is located in Norman, Oklahoma. That's a bit south of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The practice is focused primarily on bankruptcy cases, largely consumer-type cases, Chapter 7, Chapter 13. But I also handle litigation in bankruptcy court, representation of third-party defendants, bankruptcy trustees, and the like. The broad overview of it is it's a bankruptcy practice.
And I know from talking earlier that there are at least two lawyers in your practice, you and your wife.
Correction, Bob, she's actually a paralegal.
She's a paralegal, okay.
Although she may know more than I.
Okay, well, that's often the case with paralegals, right? We know that.
Yes.
And so it's just the two of you in the firm?
There's the two of us, but we also have other employees, another paralegal, a couple of assistants, legal assistants, that help with the processing of cases.
Yeah. And how long have you been practicing?
I am in my 28th year of practice, yes.
Great. Always bankruptcy?
Yes.
So, what is the, you were actually just telling us before, and I think it's an interesting story about some issues that you had with your own servers over the last, year or two, that's caused you to take some action. So what happened there, and what did you do about it?
Well, 2017 was a challenging year for us. We had local servers within our premises where we kept all our data files and such. And there have been challenges going back some time over having full functionality from that. But in the year 2017, we had sort of a perfect storm of a ransomware attack, which caused a lot of downtime and some considerable money to reverse that effect. I did not pay the ransom. Secondly,
Did you get shut down entirely?
it locked us out, for a period of 2 or 3 days before my remote IT support got in and began to unravel the problem and get us set straight. Wow. And that was one pretty horrific incident for us. And then another was from a remote location. I was working in Florida at the time, and it was near a holiday. We had our server actually go down and crash and was unable to get it back and operating. And I thought, well, that's it. I am done with that problem and that time drain and that money drain. So what we did was move to a remote server with a Citrix platform. A company in Dallas has helped us transition to that. They maintain
Tech consulting company?
Tech consulting company, but they also host the remote platform.
Yeah.
And so they oversaw the transition and transport of all of our files. They keep up with our software, run our software, and make sure it's smoothly functioning.
All of your software runs on the remote platform?
All of our software runs on the remote platform. There is hardly any use for the local hard drive at this time. It's perfectly secure, always up and running, very fast upload, download speeds. And at this point in time, I'm very happy for the relatively inexpensive cost. Very happy with having made that change.
Yeah. And it gives you access remotely, mobile access?
I can pull out my cell phone and access it. I can take my laptop anywhere I want. The same is true for the 4 or 5 other members of the firm that need that access. They can from any location. We recently had a paralegal take her certification as a bankruptcy judicial assistant in Indianapolis, and she was able to remotely access, and it's great. It's worked great.
Yeah. Are you the tech person in your firm? Are you the IT department?
That's being generous. I'm the only person that has much of a clue about it. no offense to other members, but yes, if a tech problem comes up, I'm the guy. I don't have an independent or subcontracted IT person aside from the host of the remote platform.
Yeah. And what are the main software programs that you use in the day-to-day practice of your firm?
As a bankruptcy lawyer, we use Best Case Bankruptcy a lot, all the time, every day.
That's kind of the de facto program out there for
Yeah,
bankruptcy.
it's a very popular program, very reliable. And so that is a key software for us. Also, we have the Office 365 suite for document creation, spreadsheet creation. We have Outlook Exchange for email, and that's, again, kept on the remote server.
Yeah.
Adobe software,
Yeah.
pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. But you mentioned you do some litigation. Does the Best Case drive any litigation you do, or also have any kind of litigation support software or anything you're using?
No, Best Case does not do litigation support. That is done by me, pretty much the old-fashioned
Good old-fashioned way,
Yeah.
manually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are there any other applications that you're using in your practice that are maybe not legal specific, but that you rely on just in your day-to-day work?
Yes, I do. We've recently obtained Lexicata for channeling, funneling our lead, our prospective new clients, and tracking that.
Yeah.
Very important software to us.
Yeah.
And we maintain that on a daily basis. We also have Clio as an administrative software. Clio is a cloud-based software, as you know.
You just bought Lexicata as well. So.
Exactly. And so you don't have to access our platform to have those softwares. Those are available over the internet.
Right. But so you use those to manage the using that for billing and that sort of thing, Clio? How do you use that as opposed to how you use Best Case? Best Case manages the cases and the matters, and Clio manages the contacts and the billing and that sort of thing? Or?
That's exactly right. Billing, contacts, communications, any activity related to that file is tracked in Clio.
Yeah. Do you work, you mentioned before that you were in Florida, working remotely. Is it common that you work remotely outside of your office?
It is fairly common because I like to take changes of scenery, personal thing of mine, and so I may go to Florida and work. I go to Maui a lot and I work from there.
Sounds good.
And so this remote access is a big thing for me. Maybe not for other people, but for me it's a huge thing because I just like to see something different.
And so when you're working remotely, are you working on the laptop? Are you working on a tablet or phone, or how are you doing it? Everything?
Always laptop.
Always laptop.
Always laptop.
All right.
Have an Apple MacBook Pro that I use.
So you're sort of semi-cloud practice. So it's very much a cloud practice in a way, but with the Citrix and Clio, which is sort of pure cloud, Lexicata, which is pure cloud, the Citrix, which gives you access via essentially the cloud. Are there any technologies that you've kind of thought about or wanted, maybe considered using, but you just decided, I'm afraid of that, or I don't trust it, or I'm not sure it's the best thing for my clients? Or?
Well, I can't think of anything that I have steered clear of for a long time. Just moving my files to the cloud was a very scary thing for me. I've been a lawyer for a long time. I started back in the days when you had file cabinets.
Right. Yeah.
And so taking confidential information and moving it off in that fashion was a little bit scary for me. It took me a long time to make the decision.
Yeah.
But as I've already recounted, the crises with the local servers just pushed me to it, and no regrets.
Yeah. So are you essentially paperless now?
Essentially paperless. We do maintain paper files for purposes of going to court, having hearings, but those are pretty much immediately scrapped and at the conclusion of a hearing. Everything important is kept electronically.
Yeah. Anything else about the technology in your practice that, actually I know what I want, the other thing I wanted to ask you about, because when your paralegal wife was here before, she mentioned she does the social media. Is that right?
She does the social.
You're not the social media guy.
I'm not the social media guy. And in fact, we use Spotlight Branding. And they create the website, maintain the website. They send us out blog for approval, newsletter for approval, also social media pushes.
Yeah.
And my wife, Leanna, is the one that reviews and approves all of that before it goes out. And she's pretty savvy about that. And that's because she practices a lot.
Yeah.
Practices a lot on her cell phone with social media. Yeah. So she's good at it.
Yeah, good. All right. So now I'll ask you, was there anything else about technology in your office that you wanted to talk about while you had the floor here?
No, Bob, I think we've well covered everything I would have to say about it.
All right. Well, David, thank you very much. It's a
Thank
pleasure
you,
to talk
Bob.
to you.
You too.
See you.